YouTube studio. What are you? Correctly, please. If the mic's good, music B is good. Guys, you didn't tell me the music B wasn't on yesterday. It's actually just better if we like use the ambiance of Arena. Is that what the people want? All right. Woo! Double check all the settings. We go there. We're live on Twitch. We're live on YouTube. We haven't done our stretch yet. Crack the knuckles. Pop your knuckles. Hold your arms out. Palms out. Go. Ugh. All right, let's do this. Hey there, heroes. My name is Hero Girl, your friendly local neighborhood hero tuber, and this is the Daily Grind. This is that time of the day where we come on and we grind our dailies. July 21st, 2026. Tuesday. We're going to be playing some more competitive Brawl today. And then it's Tuesday, so we got a new Wondrous Tales, so we will be doing Final Fantasy 14 in about an hour. Guys, I'm starting to feel the fatigue a little bit playing casual Brawl and constantly getting matched up against High Bay. Play what you want. Play what you want. I would prefer not to play against High Bay again. So I am starting to auto-concede High Bay matchups. Because some of my decks, unless they're like Matoya and they have blue to interact on the stack, I just don't have any real game plan against High Bay. Killing it doesn't work because they just replay it and get more shrines. Trying to kill all the shrines, I don't have a deck that packs that much enchantment root. It's either just like go aggro to like, you know, outrace them before they can get their value engines, or play control and keep them from like ever resolving High Bay. Like those are your options. So if I'm trying to play Madam mid range, no. I've played that matchup plenty of times at this point. It does not spark joy. So we're just gonna hit that concede button and move on because, like, you know, casual Brawl, there's no cost to doing. Kellen, thank you so much for the lurk redeem. Lucky, you hit the 135 stream streak. Good job. Thank you. I have to plan a. I keep saying I'm gonna plan something special, or not even like special, but I'm just gonna like maybe I'll just use a stream day at some point to maybe the next time that I have a bad brain day, rather than playing like train game, we'll do a Dragon Quest farm day. That sounds good. Anyway, we're playing some competitive Brawl. We got to play blue spells, so we're gonna play Matoya. I'm still messing around with some of the card slots. I took out a couple of the 2 mana Scry Surveil, then draw, because I wanted just a little bit more answer ability cards. Spell Snare can hit both Disruptor Flute and Mana Drain, which is really important. And then I also put in Bird again, the Foul Watcher here, just because like you need blue creatures in order to make Flare of Denial actually work. So, like, get blue creatures, have food for Flare of Denial, this stuff. This turns into a 2/2, which can actually start clocking the opponent in classic mono blue fashion, unlike the Starfish. But maybe I want to play the Starfish in place of this. We're gonna have to try things out. Daddy, hey, thanks for stopping by. We are just about to head into Comp Brawl. They said that they're gonna start putting mythics and rares into the daily deals. Selected 0. Oh, I don't have a deadly cover-up yet? Huh. That might actually be worth. It's 2,475 gold. I've already got enough here. Next one is a Universes Beyond. Yeah, I'll pick up a copy. Okay, these are... No, they're not all... No, these are standard. You know what? I'll take it. It's not a card I need immediately. I like this. I like this. Like, boosty packs are good, and I will continue to buy boosty packs because that just it's just easier for me to do it that way, especially with all the wild cards and stuff. But being able to convert into guaranteed cards for gold and gems, even if it's like, you know, an assortment, I'll take that. Yeah, we gotta cast a bunch of blue and or spells today. I don't have a blue-green deck. Guys, I tried looking for a blue-green deck that I could play in Comp Brawl, but I just want to show you something real quick. The decks that I have that are blue-green are all casual stuff, except for Derevi. And, I'm not ready to play Derevi just yet. Like, my favorites are, without question, Galadriel and Cure here. I like casting Big Fish, and I cannot lie. Literally just scry lands all the time. You got the 5-color mazes deck here. You've got the theoretical fractal deck that we're working on. We got Amy's Primo deck here. A couple of placeholders for Berta. An old Blink deck that I used to have with Lagrella that just, like, it's really, really, really fallen off. And an Omega deck that I had at one point. These decks, you can tell that they're old because they have the cards that were banned from casual Brawl. I already have Warriors Call in my Samurai deck. It's a really good anthem. Nashi, right off the bat. All right. Time to play Control v Control. Harbinger of the Seas. If I can resolve that, I'm pretty happy, which means I'm probably going to need to burn this Consider to find some sort of backup. Time Warp is cool, but not what I want right away. Bloom Tender. Jawari Disruption is not what I'm looking for. Raven, Bloom Tender down, Mana Drains, full, past the turn. I can always just like play the Silver Raven. Pass again. Like, I've got the Mana Drain and I've got the Disruptor Flute now. So I've got a ton of stuff to do. Yep. Okay. So, like, they could dash you right now. Like, I'll even use the Disruptor Flute to just, like, as bait, I guess. They've only got one basic Swamp in play, which... this is actually a problem, right? They have a basic Swamp in play, which means that they actually can answer Harbinger, and then the Bloom Tender also just, like, answer stuff. Okay, so yeah, Nashi comes down. It's a 4/4 that blocks, I guess. Do I use it to, like, cast? I might actually name the Bloom Tender. No, unless they're abilities. So, like, yeah, we'll just go ahead and name Nashi again. Guess why not, right? Nashi Illusion here. Okay, there's Flooded Strand. That's cool. Oh, God. What do I want to do? I want to get this Harbinger down. But I want to get it down with protection, right? Yeah, I want to get it down with protection. So here's... He'll make Pixie. Pass the turn. If I can just, like, get one more land and then play the Harbinger with Mana Drain backup, I'd be really happy. Yeah, Bloom Tender comes down. Demonic Tutor. I can't... It's not that I wouldn't counter the Demonic Tutor if I could. It's that I just... Okay, yep, okay. Now we go ahead and counter. Go ahead. Fetch out the Mystic Sanctuary. Actually, do I even grab the Mystic Sanctuary at this point? I guess I could grab the Disruption. No, I think I'm just grabbing Basic. And unless they have... Nope. No force. That's great for us. Now I've got Time Warp and Harbinger. Yep. Okay. The form... Ooh, Brainstorms. Let's cast Time Warp to start. Let's cast Harbinger. Harbinger probably doesn't even do anything right now, right? Yeah, then they're just gonna kill the Harbinger. I mean, I'll take that. With the Bloom Tender out, they're already just like... I'll keep it off. Yeah, this basically just lets me play Matoya. Get to attack again. Halrand is... This could do something against Nashi, but I'm really looking for more interaction here. Keep them from, like, going off. Unable to screen. That could do something next turn. I can Brainstorm and then into Opt. I think that's what I want to do. Alright, perfect. Force of Will and a land. Silver Raven's a redraw. Omen Speaker's a redraw. Put back the island and the... Speaker, I think? No, I'm going to need one of these to pitch. Need to hold on to the Opt. So, do it like that. Put the island on the bottom. That way we draw the Omen Speaker. Then... Might as well do this now before anything else has a chance to happen. Because if they kill Matoya, then I just, like, don't get to do a thing. Okay. Elrond, it can really good here with all of our... Makes all of our other creatures. Just kind of depends. Tutor, yep. Once I get the second Admiral, I can make the second Pirate deck. My mind has got so P from today. Out of Azorius control deck. Oh god. So Thassa comes down. This is one I have to fight over. Is this also just like fights the unable to scream? Look, if you're mad about competitive, don't play competitive. Like, right now competitive is a blue list. Also, I'm just gonna go ahead and attack with everything, I guess. Which means that Nashi could block, which is bad. But I need to try and keep pace. Okay, so here's Artificer's Assistant. Recast a Historic spell, you get this Scry. Then, rather than play Elrond... What do I want to do? I want to play Unable to Scream, right? Yeah, I want to play Unable to... Here's Silver Raven. Get a free draw off the assist. Do that first. A land might actually be okay here. Because it's going to be 3 mana kind of regardless. I need to find more protection. Hit a land anyway. Get to scry again. Search for a Scanta. That does help us, like, pull ahead, fight Nashi. That might be worth holding on to. I don't need, like, a lot of value engines. I just need some amount. And I'll go ahead and pay the ward cost. I have Subtlety here, and I can pitch Elrond if I need to. Pass the turn. Bloom Tender is still active, sadly. Cyclonic Rift, bounce my Matoya. Yep. Means they probably have, like, something to, like, counter her, or they just want to slow me down. If they counter her, I don't have a good way to, like... I mean, I can't stop a time warp. It's interesting that they didn't psych rip 4. Yep, so time warp's basically an explore here. They're trying to get the tempo back. I still have like 4 flyers, so I still present a 3-turn clock right now. I could theoretically like leave subtlety open even, and like be able to make that a 2-turn clock. So this would put him down to... Oh, I can't do anything about that. Shit. 4, put him down to 6. God damn it, they hit the Nashi. So yep, Nashi gets to happen. Nashi gets to grab, what, another time warp? I'd be shocked if it was anything but a time warp. Yep. Oh god, okay. So then here is that. Pitch the... There's subtlety. I can go ahead and put Thassa on top of their deck. Okay. Scalding Tarn. Yeah, we just go ahead. We play Matoya now. Wicker Maw is not one. We're doing this pre-combat because the Pixie draws us new cards. I could even theoretically, like, what, put the Force of Will on top, actually? Yeah, let's do it like that. Let's put the Force of Will on. No, the Cavernous Souls. If I were to... I have 3, 4. I don't have enough mana for the Time Warp. I could opt. Mana Drain is not going to get there because of this Cavernous Souls, right? Cavernous Souls, end of turn. What do they grab? They grab like a Cyclonic Rift and they can bounce. So it's not actually the... Yeah, it's not actually... Bosses that I'm trying to beat. I'm trying to beat like whatever it is they resolve on top of that. Oh, that's a historic spell. Okay. Prismatic Vista. An island. Alright, so they can go ahead and they can cast Thassas. I can't stop that. Toxic Deluge for 1 to wipe out all my flyers. Well, that also wipes out the Bloom Tender, right? Okay. So, if I cancel this, what do they do? What do they get off now? Anything that's an instant speed is a problem. So, Psych Rift, Bitter Triumph. They would have to do it on Matoya, right? Yeah, they would have to do it on Matoya. They get their Nashi back either way. I think if I'm fighting over this, then that's fine. And then I'll get 3 mana to spend on whatever it is I hit on the next turn. Nashi can kill or bounce Matoya, and I still get to, like, recast Matoya. So, like... Oh, they're gonna grab Demonic Tutor. Okay. And then 1 mana kill Matoya, or 1 mana kill the Pixie? No, they're gonna exile the Pixie. Okay, that was actually, like, pretty slick. Eaten by Piranhas. That's... It turns off Nashi for a turn? That's not historic. I think I can do better than that. Is this I think this is a scenario where I do transform, search for a Scanta, really enough. Wizard class is cool, I guess. Let's play Wizard class. Let's search for Sink into Stupor or Force a Negation. Force a Negation. That's not what I want. But, like, we're close. Because if we turn this into draw cards, that's pretty good. They also have Nature's Rhythm. I am just, like, fighting. Because that demonic tutor is a pain in the ass. So, I can go into 3. Put him down to 2. I think I just want to keep. Fairy is a very, very good win condition the next turn, but I still don't think that's good enough. Okay. Assistant is drawing me cards. That's a blue card I can pitch to Forgings. I guess I'll take that. We're gonna get a Resurveil off of this. Still, nope. Sapphire is so cool, I guess. Pass the turn. All right, chat. Gonna be it. All right, we're gonna let them Malevolent Mumble. They grab the ability to get back a creature card. Sure. How do you feel about Noctis Zalfir and that we're going back to Kamigawa? Honestly, I love it. Like, I'm excited to go back to, you know, Magic sets, right? And don't let my feelings about Refracted Reality, like, you know, twist the expectations. I love Magic, and I love when Magic does Magic. What can they get? They could get back... They could get back the Exile. Want? Yep, alright. The blocks. Pass to the end. Yep. They can go ahead. They'll go ahead and grab whatever they want. Now actually giving the card that he regrows Flash is just too much. It's too much, bro. Okay, this one's also going to be a redraw. Real quick. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Now we can make multiple creatures threats. Love to see that. So, here's the first one. This is a Surveil. Mentor's Guidance. That's pretty good. Yep, so we'll go ahead and put that on Silver Raven. And I will cast... Sapphire Medallion, which would give me another trigger. Unwelcome Sprite is a blue card that I can pitch, but not what I'm looking for. Alright, now that's lethal. Now we have... There's Guidance. Draw even more cards. I can cast Counterspell and Force Negation, fortunately. I just can't tap out for much else. Commandeer is a huge plus. Because now it means that we want to grab... Good, mine too. Hailing to your Orb, not what we're looking for. We're looking for blue cards that we can pitch the Commandeer now. Chromox is kind of cool. Go ahead and grab... Put on the Wicker. Alright, here's Mox Amber, which is once again going to continue to draw us cards. Astrosphere, you're happy to see that. And then, I don't even need... What if I was just like... Play out. I can play out this... I have 2 blue cards that I would pitch. And then I can pitch out what? The Fresh Start? It might just be pitch the Fresh Start. It's not pitch. go like. Do it like. Yes. Yes. And then I could draw like one more card with the Astrosphere if I really want to, but I think I'm just going to hold that up for Commandeer. Now I'm presenting... Okay, yeah, they go ahead, they tap down the assistant. Ah, shit, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that would do it. I can attack it with Koya and the Wicker Maw. Let's say we instead what I'll do, go blue. Here's Astro Planet here. Synthoids is not a blue card. And it leaked pretty good. Do I have enough mana? Got 4. 3, 4. One more. Pass the turn. Alright, here we go. Good thing you have Omniscience, so you can play it next turn and just pop off. I don't have Omniscience. I really don't. Target. Commandeer that. We'll eat both of them. Let's eat both of them. Commandeer for the Time Warp. Here's where they go ahead and they cast Guardianship. I'll go ahead and cast Force Negation. And we win! You! Honestly, that already was us popping off, right? Like, I got to play my wizard class, level it up, and then turn all of Matoya's draw power into power. I had to force them to use all 8 of their turn mana just to tap down my flyers. Meanwhile, we built up 2 pretty good threats here. Woo! That's why we play Control, folks. That's why we play Control. We get some really fun interactive games sometimes. Now, that was like one game, right? But the quality of the game was really good. Like, we cast 20 spells there. How can you be upset? When I look at Reality Factor, I just asked Jace, what the fuck did you do and how much did you do? Did you... things? Yeah. I imagine a lot of people are going to be asking about that, considering that, you know, most people just play with the cards and they don't read the extra materials, right? Because, like, also, you shouldn't have to look at and read the extra materials. Really gets the heart pumping. Let's see, what was it after gold? It's platinum, diamond, and then mythic, is that right? Balmor, Battle Mage, Captain. Alright, if we can just stuff Balmor, we're fine. Into the Flaws, cool. Fresh Start helps a lot with that. Strip Mine at Rivendell is awkward. But I think we keep this because this hand can win on tempo. I don't know. The Strip Mine makes this really easy. But the Fresh Start on the Balmor means that they just don't get things going. Isn't that Elspeth from the new Capenna? No, that Elspeth is from Dragonstorm. This is also just like really dicey. Like this is probably just a really risky game against a super aggro deck like Balmor. Were they gonna go like Chroma? They might be. I would love to draw another land. Otherwise, what I might end up needing to do is play Strip Mine, hold Strip Mine. They get to develop their board state though. How many different Elspeths are there? A lot. Like, Elspeth is an all-time favorite Planeswalker. She's been around since Shards of Alara. There was what? Elspeth Knight Errant in the original Shards of Alara. There was Elspeth Tyrell that came out in Scars of Mirrodin. Then Elspeth of Theros, the 6-mana one that with the Spear of Heliod, where she was Theros hero. That's 3. She came back with Theros Beyond Death, so that's 4. New Capenna is 5. She had a start deck one as well. That's like 6. Archangel Elspeth is 7. Then Dragonstorm should make like 8. I think that's at least 8 Elspeths. What's she doing in New Capenna? New Capenna is where she lives, bro. Hey, that's where she came from. New Capenna got taken over by Phyrexians. And then she goes back and she tries to... Oh, no, this is bad. So she goes back to New Capenna to figure out how they beat back the Phyrexian invasion. And that's pretty much the entire story. He works with, like, Falco Sparta to figure something out. Phyrexian Squelcher is super. Because I don't want to be using Fresh Start on the Squelcher. Yep, I did. That was a greedy mulligan. I should have thrown that back. As long as I can, like, pull this out to the long game, we might be fine. Just kind of depends. They put blue underneath the Chromux, so the Harbinger comes down. The Harbinger's sticking around because they can't play anything that removes her. Yep. Okay, so Balmor can come down. And then, as much as I want to, like, just be able to counter stuff, I think it's gonna be correct to go end of turn, hit Balmor with a Fresh Start, because that's actually what I'm more scared of. So yeah, this will cost us 2. And hopefully this makes them tap out and we hit another land and we can just, like, jam the Harbinger. How does she become a Planeswalker in New Capenna? The same way everyone else does. Trauma. Okay, that's exactly what I wanted. Then, yeah, we just jam Harbinger of the Seas. And then, hopefully they don't realize that they should tap for red so they can bolt it. Is that really how she became one? That's how everyone becomes a Planeswalker. Like, kind of without exception, right? Your Spark Igniting is usually triggered by just, like, literally shit happening to you. And on Elspeth's case, she was imprisoned by Phyrexians her entire childhood. And she wanted to escape so bad that her spark ignited, and then she ran away. One of the first places that she went to was Theros. That's where she meets Staxos. That's where she picks up her sword after Purpros tries to do the whole, you know, killing Heliod thing. She planeswalks away because she's terrified of Heliod showing up. If I can get, like, one more, and I will play out this Enduring Curiosity, and we can just, like, try riding our Night Veil Sprite to victory. Yep, the Hexing Squelcher's gonna come in. We're gonna start rating it, I think. Conduit Pylon. This won't actually trigger anything, but I'm okay. Back with the Night Veil Sprite. Back with the Night Veil Sprite. Actually, I'm going to leave that on top. Because if I can play Matoya with potentially Counterspell backup, pretty good for me. Now, granted, I can't counter anything because of the Hexing Squelcher, but... well, they don't need to know that. And in fact, if they try and tap out for anything, I can just flash in the Curiosity now. I can even play the Cosmo Elixir. When she came back to New Capenna, I hope she found some way to enjoy herself. You're asking too much, man. You're asking too much. Also, the Cosmo Elixir is going to be what offsets the Squelcher damage. That's nice. Alright, so here's Curiosity Cat. I could have played this to try and, like, eat the Squelcher, I guess. That probably is what I should have done. Yep, Mana Leak. Here's another one. Here's the... Actually, do I want to just, like, try and exhaust them? I might. Like, I can play Matoya now. Matoya resolves. Perfect. Alright, I just get to, like, do everything forever now. I don't even need that Cavern of Souls anymore. Fairy, I'll actually grab that because that's a very good win condition here. I can play the Petrified Hamlet. I can name like a Strip Mine or something if that's what they have. Sorry, I'm fairly intrigued in some of the Plains lore. I mean, like, you don't have to apologize for being intrigued, right? Like, don't get it twisted. Don't take all of this as a, you know, an indictment on how you should think of yourself as a person. Great. Now they can crack their Prismatic Vista and grab Mountain to stop the Harbinger from, like, going off. But, like, I guess we got our Wickermog. Balmor is still, like, under lock and key. So currently, we're in a pretty good spot. Like, I'm definitely not any sort of a lore historian. But when the sets do a good enough job of, you know, naming their beats and all that, it helps a lot. Yeah, I think we just go ahead and drop to Fairy, right? Either to Fairy or... Sprite Dragon too. Alright. Go ahead and drop Petrified Hamlet. Strip Mine. Alright, I've got 6 mana to do something with. This Night Veil can attack pretty safely, and... I'm already committed to the attack step. Like... Artificer's Assistant helps me out. Drawing up a ton of cards. Pretty good. That's Sprite Dragon, though. So, currently I have, what, 3... Just can't counter stuff? I just can't counter stuff. That kind of sucks. I can restrict how much mana they do have. That's something. I think that's what I need to do. Like, okay, go ahead. Play the bird. Pass turn. Bright Dragon can now hit us. They can bolt the Harbinger of the Sea. I can't counter bolting the Harbinger of the Sea. I have to get to Fairy and or Cosmo Elixir online like ASAP. Play to Fairy, immediately minus him. That's what I got. Maybe the Harbinger of the Sea like diverts some of the removal. Is that why you like Strixhaven, since it has cards that tell a story? Nope. Nope. Sadly, like, I used to love the story. Like, I used to love Magic stories so much. But it's clear that, like, it's just not a priority for WotC. And the story just ends up being something that causes me a lot of bitterness. I love Innistrad. They kill... They're gonna cop. Can't stop that. Culture. Okay, so they're gonna bolt my... I get invested in Innistrad, they kill Avacyn. I get invested in Ravnica, and, like, other shit happens, I guess. I get invested because Elspeth is, like, my favorite Planeswalker, they kill her. Liliana is, like, my other favorite Planeswalker, they despark her. Like, it's just not worth getting invested into the story, because WotC will literally just, you know, fuck up everything that you love about it. So, I like Strixhaven because I like the world, is what it comes down to. Nothing else about, you know, Magic story is worth getting into. Absolutely none. That is a very disappointing thing to have to deal with. They can't cast anything else off the storm catch. Wait. Yeah, you leave back the Sprite Dragon because you actually just want to... Alright. I mean, do they have a Fury in hand or Pyrokinesis? Guess not. Okay, Jawari Disruption. What am I doing with my life here? I can't actually counter, like, anything. Yeah, I don't get to counter. So then, here is make a dude. Go ahead, crash in the Night Veil Sprite. Do I take a land? I might. I don't get to do anything with it. Oh. I got a Prismatic Vista anyway. I guess I'll hold the Disruption because it's a blue card that I can play out. Normally I should be holding this for a Brainstorm, but I am just not in a good spot. I've got Teferi going. Teferi's gonna get eat because of the Sprite Dragon. Really, I'm just... And I'm even gonna just, like, start playing stuff. Potentially. To, like, trigger effects, depending on what happens. Like, this Squelcher, this fucking Squelcher has just ruined so much of my game plan. Let me guess, Phyrexia was the start of the downfall of stories and Magic? Not even close. The downfall of stories and Magic was WotC trying to make stories and Magic more prevalent, so that way they could, quote, have a Mickey Mouse that they could, right? But so they could have a character that they could sell out and you know, basically use as a marketing piece. They've been trying to do that for like decades, and it sucks. It sucks so much. Because Magic has good stories. Like the Phyrexia were introduced way back with the Weatherlight Saga. Past the blockers, I am once again being forced. Check here. Wasn't the one that came up with Jace being the Mickey Mouse? No, that was just like an example. Like, they introduced the lore in 5 because they were introducing Planeswalkers. They realized that in order to actually, like, use Planeswalkers, they would have to, like, Planeswalkers are supposed to be a huge thing in Magic. I can attack with the Balmor. No, I can attack with Teferi. They block with Balmor. They get to start casting Balmor again. I need to have answer to the Squelcher first. Unable to scream. That's important. That's how we win the Time War. Because like this is something that Mark Rosewater talks about in his podcast and his articles whenever they're trying to like talk to people about crossovers and stuff like that. Magic has had crossovers with Eggo Waffles. They did crossovers with Might. I'm gonna end up paying 2 life off of the Squelcher, but at least if I do that pre-combat. Greyhaven is a redraw, but not for. Basically, just Magic trying to be marketable is what's killing Magic. 10,000%. Okay, what I want to do is turn this into... I'll go ahead and I'll pay the 2 here. All right, and now we're in a position where if we just like hang tight, we can win the time war. Yep, they can go ahead. They can block there. Let's see. Otherwise, you control get 1/1. I am not gonna play the Ornithopter because I just have so much to do with my mana. Malcolm. Malcolm. I mean, I can play. I can ambush Malcolm with subtlety. I want to save this subtlety for fail more. Okay, this is definitely a lot longer than what they want. Think of the Stupor, I will gladly take that. That's a blue card I can potentially pitch to Subtlety. This token is now officially big enough to block like everything except their flyers. Sprite Dragon is going to be a problem, so I have to start looking for an answer for Sprite Dragon, but Sync of the Stupor should help with that. Alright, let's go ahead and go... Here's Subtlety. Put Balmor back on top of your deck. And I want to bounce the Sprite Dragon, I think. So I'm willing to take like 3 off the Sprite Dragon. The Squelcher is neutralized. We've got Cosmo Elixir and we're stabilizing. I can potentially even play like the Palantir next turn. I'm not going to use the Rivendell to tap out. But maybe I should. Because it feels like if they had a response that they could do something with, then that would be it. Ooh, that is... okay. Let's Spell Pierce that then. I don't have the 2 mana to stop the Sprite Dragon anymore. Sprite Dragon is still really scary. But I stop the Malcolm? No, we get it. Okay. I'm trying to remember when Chores became a Planeswalker. That was in March of the Machines. That was the invasion on Strix. And there is a single card, the blue one with Convoke, that depicts Quintorius' Spark igniting. It happened because Liliana sent the Strixhaven 5 to go and find basically the school's magic reset all-purpose defense magic force that would like make it so Phyrexia was basically beaten. And then they held hands, they did a magic ritual, all the magic went into Quintorius, it forces Spark to ignite, all that stuff. So like, you know, another instance of like there's one card to try and depict this moment. Something that should have been like really powerful and grand for this one character, and it gets relegated to, you know, side flavor article as opposed to being a heavy story beat inside the cards, you know? But we weathered the storm. Hallelujah. Hallelujah and thank God. See, if we didn't have that, I would have... Let's see, we'd probably take 4 off the Sprite Dragon. I have to use the Sync of the Stupor to reset the Sprite Dragon, at least. Maybe kick it further down the road. If we don't find the answer for that Squelcher, we... Oh, instead he wins the race, chat. Are we... Who's your favorite character out of the Strixhaven 5? Who is my favorite character out of the Strixhaven 5? I forgot that we still have like... Quintorius is alright. Kind of loses points for being an elephant. Like, other than that, like, you know, being a history nerd would have been really cool. I'm just not a fan of him being... I'm really a fan of like the Loxodon people. Don't really care about Killian. So it's probably Honestly, it's probably Dina, hands down, if I had to say I have a favorite. But even then, it's not like, you know, Dina's a favorite character. It's just like, if you want to give me those exact 5, then sure. Or set in line to exit. Here's Guardianship, Force Negation, Fresh Start. About as good a hand as you. At least if you're gearing up for them. Gonna hold on to this if I can. Definitely Ink Mage. I don't want to pitch it, but it might get pitched to Force Negation. We have Fresh Start and Counterspell here. Usually with a Narset inline Exile deck, they're gonna try and play... Yeah, it's a lot of stuff like that. A lot of stuff that lets them go aggro and play go white tokens. Third Path Iconoclast is cool, I guess. Alright, if they have Force of Will, how bad is this? I think I go on their upbeat then. That way I can Force Negation. Solve. And then we'll just name Narset Light Master. Line to Exile is what it is, right? And then we'll fresh start the Third Path Iconoclast on their turn as well. Ah, Corey Steelcutter. That's a, that is not quite as good, but it's definitely a card that you should not let them have. Alright, so now they get their token. Now we get to go Misty Rainforest. I could play Matoya right now. But the Fierce Guardianship... I think I'm just doing this now. And we're gonna hold up for a turn. If I hit like one more land, I'm in the best shape of my life, because then I can play Matoya with Consider. Out with the creativity, yep, good. Keep blinking me for 1, that care about that. Alright, Hidden Grotto, that's what I like to see. Crack that immediately for 1. It's tempting. I want to play Hidden Grotto so I can get the free Scry off Matoya. It's probably less important. I'm going to have to use Fierce Guardianship either way. It's just like my free redraw. Path to Exile. Go ahead and I will Fierce Guardian that one. So I get the redraw here. Astro Planar Sphere, I would gladly take that because that's another win that'll help punch through. I have 1 turn where I'm shields down. So they eat. Yep. Okay, they're just going to bounce into my hand. I am A-okay with that. That's actually probably about as good as I could ask for. They've only got 1 blue source too. Oh, they're going to Curse of Silence me. That... It matters a little bit. It definitely means that I play my Astrosphere first. Especially if I don't hit, like, another land. Because then the Astrosphere is just gonna, like, destroying. Petrified Hamlet. Go ahead and play that. We'll name Strip Mine, I guess. Then... Blue. I can play Matoya. I'll play this job electric card first. Just lets me hold up my... Not wrong. Why didn't Quintorius get more grandeur for getting the spark? Is that not usually a big moment? It is! It is! It's usually a pretty fucking huge moment. Okay. We can go tap, tap, tap. Here's the orb. And then I'm content to just like chill for a second. Silver Raven and Wizard class. Wizard class is cool to get eventually. I think I'm just putting both of those on because I would love to hit like another land. So obviously mill. I'll take one. I've got 2 big win conditions in play now. Monastery Mentor. Nope. They might have like another answer for that. They're done. They're done. Excellent. Whew. Open and shut. Playing 3 colors is really, really dicey. Unless you're playing Nashi, I think. Like, if you're playing Nashi, you're playing it because you get to play channel into whatever big thing you want. You get to play your Tainted Pact, Oracle, Thassa combo. You get to play with all the good blue pitch spells. You get to play with the super control favorable Nashi flash in, flash whatever you want off Nashi. You get to play fun value stuff. I don't think a lot of the 3-color piles are viable. And I say that, like, actively trying to play something like Kalia in competitive. I feel you'd have an easier time choosing a favorite school versus a favorite character when it comes to Strixhaven. That's kind of a no. You know, that's 100% agree. Because the thing I like most about Magic is no longer the characters, it's the worlds. I will literally make up my own stories. I've been doing that since I started playing Magic, right? I have my own fan fiction that I've written for my own original characters, for my own fan walker. That I've even published a little bit of it on AO3. I don't need WotC to give me the big characters. I used to want that. I used to want that. When the Gatewatch came out, I was so fucking excited because I was so excited to read stories about the characters. And then I saw how they did it. And it was just like, wow, okay. This is not a good vehicle. This is not to say that the stories were bad, per se, right? Don't get it twisted. It's just that Magic the Gathering is a card game. And card games are best at telling stories that are environmental. And if you do tell a singular narrative, you need more than just one card to tell it. You need several cards in your set, right? I think they currently do like somewhere around 10 or so per set for the main story. Like the story of Aether Drift, that was perfectly fine. I enjoyed reading, you know, the story of Chandra racing to get her girlfriend a spark back. And that wasn't even just like reading the fiction. That was just looking at the cards. You know, I remember the original Kaladesh set. I remember the depiction of Avishkar now. That was really good. Theros was good. Innistrad was like peak environmental storytelling, right? Because of how it gets darker and darker until Avacyn finally gets restored and now everything is better. That is good Magic storytelling. They still had all the supplemental story stuff, but like, you know, what was Soren doing on Innistrad, looking for Innistrad? I don't know. He was looking for Avacyn, but we never actually got to see exactly what the fuck he was doing. It was just like, okay, here's Soren. He's the one who made Avacyn. He's the Lord of Innistrad. This is his home. That's all we got. And that, you know what? I'll take that over what we get now. Liliana is like the big driver of the original Innistrad because she's after Griselbrand. And like, again, you get like the bare bones of it, but there's just enough cards to like make you aware of that as a major plot beat. And again, that's all you need. Theros was good like that. Ravnica was, you know, less focused on the Dragon's Maze and more about the factions, and that was still good. I like the Secretist. The Secretist is what made me like Jace as a protagonist. At the exact same time, though, like, the Dragon's Maze set didn't actually, like, give us the story. What I liked was having a book to read. But that story was not in the Dragon's Maze set. The Dragon's Maze set was just like, okay, we have our champions and they're racing, but we don't exactly know why. Oh, because it's in the book. And that's always frustrating. Mirrodin, Scars of Mirrodin. Scars of Mirrodin into Mirrodin Besiege into New Phyrexia, fantastic. Zendikar into Worldwake into Rise of the Eldrazi, fantastic. Shards of Alara all the way through Conflux and Alara Reborn, fantastic. When Magic focuses on environmental storytelling, and uses its sets as a transition from set to set to show how the world is changing. That is good Magic the Gathering card game based storytelling. And they're trying too hard to turn it into something that they could market as a story, because what general audiences connect with is not worlds, it's characters. But the characters aren't what make these sets magical. I like the characters. I like Aurelia, Avacyn, Sigarda. I like Liliana and Elspeth and everyone else. But Magic is so much better when it is a play set, right? When it is a play space, a sandbox to do the things that I want to imagine doing. And there you go. There's the what's wrong with Magic today rant. Hopefully that one goes on cooldown for another week and we don't have to worry about it. Anyway, today was a good day for Magic. We got up to, what is it, Gold 1? Yeah, we're at Gold tier. One more win and we can get to Gold 1. But I've got Final Fantasy stuff to do. We're not going to be doing any streams tomorrow because I have doctor's appointment. Didn't know you made an OC for Strixhaven? I in fact did not make a OC for Strixhaven, but I do have an OC that goes to Strixhaven. Like, the hero lore here is that the second character that I started writing about, the merfolk from Ixalan named Ariel. And right now, her primary faction is Wandrix. Like, I like Ixalan as a playing, but honestly, it's just... I don't even think of Ixalan as, like, her home world, even though she is, like, an Ixalan merfolk. To me, it is Strixhaven. Strixhaven is the school that she gets to attend to and where she gets to passionately pursue her special interests. Because Ariel is a big story about, like, finding the wonder in the world around her. It's about pursuing her curiosity. She's not a fighter, just a scholar. And she just wants to learn about things. And so whenever she goes to a new world, she gets to, investigate. She gets to study. She's also like a 5-color... Yeah, she's a 5-color blue-green character. Is how I've always said it. Like, one of the things I love to do is I like to think of ways to express those characters beyond just writing the story. So I've had theoretical decks in different formats to represent them. Even working on a cube that I call the Blorbo cube, where I can represent my 5 different fanwalkers, the way that Magic Origins represents the Gatewatch. Gonna do one from... And, like, she's just blue-green, some explore, but primarily it's just, like, blue-green converge without necessarily needing to use a bunch of different land types. Just, like, manipulating lands, right? Like, auras that give a land all land types, or let her access all other colors. Like, she wants to learn. She wants to learn and experiment and try out all the stuff. And that goes beyond just, like, her blue-green identity. It goes into, being able to study and copy red, white, and black magic as well. And I really like that. It is it's that little piece of me that tries so hard to remember the joy, whimsy, and wonder that comes from using these worlds as a play space, rather than something that's dictated to me. As excited as I was for the Gatewatch, I ended up really disliking how much of a main plot it was driven in. I disliked how often we were getting Planeswalker cards of the same Planeswalkers. Because to me, like, as much as I like the characters, I prefer the variety of... I preferred it when it was blocks, and we had, like, a protagonist Planeswalker for the block. And then we could see them in different story moments throughout the block. So like Elspeth, Lily to a lesser degree. Scars and Mirrodin had that because it was Lily. No, not Lily. It was Elspeth, Koth, and Venser. You could. Would you go to Quandrix or Lorehold? I mean, like, I'm focused on a career. You're basically asking me if I would be going to Magic College, and I'm in a position where I wouldn't even want to go to like regular college because I have too much stuff that I am actively working on. I am past the point where I need an institution, a structure to learn from professors, to have assigned homework and all that. Like, nah. Would I have liked to have gone to that when I was like, you know, at that college age? Probably. Possibly. I can express that through my stories. Like, I like Quandrix and I like Lorehold. That's why I've got one OC actively attending to it, and then another OC failing as a, you know, teaching assistant there after she gets desparked. Like, I like the schools. That doesn't mean I would want to go there. Honestly, there's like very little in Magic that I would actively want to go to. I find them fascinating to read and write about. That doesn't mean I want to go there. Theros, beautiful plane, absolutely beautiful. I love the Eidolons, I love everything about it. But like, I could just charter a flight to Greece if I wanted to, you know, try and get the experience. Want to go to New Capenna? I've already been to Chicago. You want to go to Innistrad? I've lived in Ohio nearly my entire life. It's not that fascinating, I promise. Feel I'd make a good Prismari professor? That would be a different thing. That would be a different thing. If I was offered like a job at one of the colleges, and it was something I was passionate about teaching, that could, you know, that would be a different conversation. On the one hand, like, I actively can't do an out-of-home job because I am a caretaker for my partner. But it's one of those things that's nice to think about. It's definitely one of those things that I'm keeping in mind as I'm working on my newest essay, right? I definitely want to make videos about Magic and deck building and Brawl. I want to make essays about, like, my experiences with gaming, anime reading, and stuff like that. I want to make sure that there is some sort of lesson to take away from there, whether it's like a personal reflection or something else. If I want to post a video on Brawl, I don't want it to just be a deck tech, right? Those piss me off. Those piss me off so much when it's just like, hey, I got 5-0 with this super busted deck in ranked. And it's just like, okay. Yeah, sure, yeah, that's clickbait as hell. I keep thinking back to when I used to work as for Magic. There was like a couple of years where I was like, you know what? I want to be a judge because judges get booster boxes for free, you know, instead of actually getting paid like the labor that they should be getting compensated for. But in my mind, it was like, oh, free trading cards, great. One of the older judges that I was talking to told me that any monkey can just like give a technical ruling, right? Be a teacher that explains why the thing is, so that way, you know, the player understands why the thing is and can take that knowledge with them into the future. But also, you need to be able to demonstrate that level of understanding and not comprehension. Capability is like what adjacent to it. Competency, that's what it is. That's what I'm thinking of. You need to demonstrate that level of understanding and competency in order to be able to give these rulings with confidence, so that way they don't just like auto appeal you, as you see. Veterinarian here. Monkeys do know how to play Magic. It's true. Slash joking. Hey Sam, I thought monkeys played duel monsters. Wasn't that like why there was a whole episode about it in GX? I am to the point now where I think I've absorbed and slurped up as much learning, like as much technical learning as I can for my craft. Like streaming is fun. Streaming helps me take care of all these dailies that I don't want to spend my, you know, quote free time doing. It earns me a few extra bucks. It lets me hang out with all you guys. But what I really, really want to do is I want to write. I want to write those essays and make them meta videos. I want to write books and I want to publish them. I've already written one book that I currently have getting beta read. I'm almost done with a second book that's literally going to be fiction. And then I'll be a published author. It's great. It's awesome. And I want to talk about my goddamn craft because this is what I've spent my time practicing. And at this point, the only way I think I can really, like, learn beyond just, you know, writing more and getting feedback, like, obviously that's the bigger one. But it's also just, like, you know, trying to teach. I might be at that point where I need to start trying to teach anyone who's going to listen, anyone who wants to learn, to demonstrate my own competency, and maybe get the pushback from, like, peer review and stuff. There has to be at least 3 commanders who are monkeys. I think there's more than that. Like, there's at least one that even makes a banana token. And I'm pretty sure that they're not monkeys so much as they're classified as apes. But who knows? Maybe they've actually gone and turned monkey into a separate creature type at this point. I have thoughts, I have opinions, I'm autistic, I'm on the internet. It is what it is. Actually, we should be, like, going for the fight first while reading. Go ahead and grab into the crystal. Gotta make sure. Isn't that creature type 8? You know what? I'm gonna have to, like, check on Scryfall after that. Yeah, remind me after we're done with front lines to look up whether monkey's a creature type yet or not. Autistic as well. I've talked my brother's ears off about magic. Isn't that just like the way that goes? You get like a new special interest, and then, you know, you just want to soak in it. You want to soak in it. You want to get lost in it. You want to, you know, you want to obsess. Part of why I just can't stop playing that. Even when I get frustrated, right? I get so frustrated if I try and play Magic outside of stream sometimes. I think part of that is because, like, you know, it can be very frustrating to have to build a new deck and, like, get the new deck up to standards. That's really what causes the frustration. It's part of what caused the crash out a couple of weeks ago with Madam Midrange. But once we just, like, start streaming and I can play with something that's, like, comfortable, familiar, and tuned, then we can start finding our happy place. Problem is, he wants nothing to do with it. Badge. Badge. Well, if you ever see the Discord link pop up in chat, you go on and click that and join the Discord, because there are people there who want to, we're having fun talking the magics and the old Hero Girl Discord. It gets posted every so often by the bot. I want to say it's like, what, once every hour or so, maybe? You'd probably even, like, scroll up to find it. That link's not going to be available if you're watching on the YouTube, by the way. That's specifically a Twitch bot. And, like, I haven't made it impossible to find by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm definitely not going out of my way to actively promote it. Because my line of thinking is, you know what? Let's just take it nice and slow. Let's just build the community one person at a time. And then, you know, if someone really, really, really wants to join the Hero Girl server, they want to be a part of the Hero Girl community, then, like, I'm going to trust that they're gonna put in the effort to, you know, dig around for it. Because the people who mean you ill will, they're not gonna put in that effort. And in fact, it's kind of a deterrent from those kind of people getting into spaces that I value. Yeah, they definitely talk magic in the Discord. I mean, we have a whole channel for it and everything. Used to have a channel for Brawl specifically too, but then it was like primarily me and one other person who would post about it from time to time. And I was like, actually, you know what? We don't have the traffic to justify a whole Brawl server, especially when, you know, there are mix-ups, like accidentally meaning to post about Commander or post like general Magic stuff. So let's just argue. Maybe in the far-flung future when I've got a lot more Brawl videos up and people are like, hey, aren't you the Brawl girl? Aren't you Brawl girl? Oh, by the way, chat, as we have like more people up, do you prefer the magic with my soundtrack or the magic without my soundtrack and it's mostly just ambiance? Because like this is the daily grind, that time of the day where we come on and grind our dailies. So I can imagine other people trying to like hang out and do their dailies, but then my music is distracting. And I've had that thought before where we do what Kenji used to do, the one of the bigger magic streamers, where he would cut the music, and the idea was that you, the audience, you would pick your own music to listen to. But I also do like my music. You know, playing my music kind of helps curate the audience a bit. Like, does it make it less generally accessible? Possibly. Does it give you a stronger impression of like who I am and what I'm into? Oh, definitely. And I am strongly preferential to the people that, you know, vibe with my vibes as opposed to trying to go for mass audience appeal. I don't mind the music. That's good. That's good. I'm definitely not going to be changing that anytime soon, but I was curious what people... And if you're watching on the YouTube side, like, hey, leave a comment and tell me what you think. Because there is also the idea that I keep playing the music during Final Fantasy segment 2. But I think I find that actually just like straight up not disconcerting, but like not quite uncanny either. But like it's just weird. It's just weird to be like playing Frontlines and to not hear this exact score every time that we do it, you know? It almost makes Frontlines sound chill. That's probably like one of the least chill formats in Final Fantasy 14. Okay, we need to IT up it. I'm probably still gonna play a little stuff tomorrow though. It'll just like not my usual times. I'm not gonna be streaming, but we're so close to getting gold, getting into the next year. Then the season's gonna reset, and we're gonna be dropped a couple of ranks anyway. Like I'm not on the grind explicitly to get to Mythic, but I would like to in Mythic, if that makes sense. I don't know, if you want to make Brawl videos, it's kind of hard now that there's like an actual ranking system to speak confidently without the quote evidence to back you up, i.e. you know that if you are not at Mythic, you try and sound like an authority on Brawl, but your ranking says you're not even at Mythic, people are like, you're not even at Mythic, you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. And it's like, you can't actually take that seriously. You can't take that seriously when you understand that your playtime is not spent 100% on Mythic and that you're not on the grind 1000% of the time to get there. How many games did we end up playing today on the Toyo, by the way? Was it literally just the 2 or 3? Because we played Nashi, we played Balmore and Nart set Enlightened Exile. I think those are the only 3 games that we played, but they were all wins. They're still... There's no way. Oh, I see. They're fighting up there. Okay. Imagine Noctis, us getting penguins, lobsters, horse serpents, fish, sharks, merfolk, and crabs, etc. I think they more or less confirmed that that's kind of the suite that they're aiming for, right? Like, there's going to be merfolk, but there's also going to be, like, plenty of other creature types, denizens of the deep. Like, we already have lobster as a creature. And they showed, like, some of the concept art of at least one penguin, which I like. I like penguins. I wouldn't say penguins are, like, my favorite animal, but, like, they're absolutely my favorite Christmas ornament. What does she mean by that? What she meant by that was that, it used to be that every year I would get a Christmas ornament gift from my friend and her mother. And in their family, everyone gets, like, a animal. Yeah, they get an animal that just becomes, like, their default, quote, I guess, not quite spirit animal, but basically they're, like, their personal holiday mascot. Makes shopping for ornaments significantly easier if you have something like that. So, like, for her mom is her mom likes frogs. So she always got frog ornaments. My friend likes dragons, so she always got dragon ornaments, although I think those were a little harder to find. And so when I started living with them, my animal just kind of was like, you know, I like penguins. Penguins are cute. Now I just have like a dozen different penguin ornaments that go on my Christmas tree. There are some. Penguin deck would be fun if we get enough. You know what's gonna happen? We're gonna get like 2, maybe 3 at the very most of a new creature type, and people are gonna be like, "Man, I wish they'd printed more of this because I want enough to make it like a commander deck." And then it's gonna turn out, no, you really didn't want that, because there's not gonna be any actual payoffs to being a penguin deck. It's gonna be, you know, this is a card that we put in this deck because we needed to, you know, fill some glue for a draft archetype. Here's a card that we made because it looked like a fun rare that people would want to play with. Maybe there's a card in the commander deck because we knew that people would really like this card type. And that's all you get. That is all you're gonna get. Unless it turns into a creature types matters set. Which they didn't say a lot about Noctis, but that was kind of the vibe I got. Was that it was definitely, it wasn't going to be a Bloomborough 2 Electric Boogaloo type thing. It was only ever going to be, you know, it's going to be about the world, and maybe there'll be some cool creature types in that. I don't think we'll have, like, blue-white penguins or anything like that. But then again, maybe we will. Maybe we will, and I'm actually just talking out my ass, because it's not like we have a lot of information. But you see how few mice we got in Bloomborough? And it's going to be like that, you know? You're going to have plenty of cards if you want to play a, you know, a regular 60-card format. If you try to build it as a 100-card deck, like, I hope you like Changeling. Hope you like Changelings and Shapeshifters. Honestly, like, I have a friend that Changeling. I always think of her whenever the unsupported creature types come up. Honestly, I should probably take a look at some of the design notes. But I've got a feeling that part of why we got a Lorwyn set was because of Universes Beyond introducing so many different weird creature types that for standard, they wanted a set to help give some cohesion to people who want to build creature type decks. So, like, there's a green changeling that naturalizes. It's an Elvish Reclaimer reprint, except, oh boy, You sure can play this in a hero cards matter deck, or a villain card matters deck, or a spider cards matter deck. And maybe that sounds a little cynical of me, but it just kind of makes sense from a game design standpoint. And like, I'm definitely playing some of them in Madam mid-range. You just need good quality cards, and some of those are, you know, very playable. We did not beat the adder. Fine by me. Okay, so that knocks off front line. Now if we just pop into leveling roll, that'll help. No, why are you on tanks? Actually, hold on, does it matter? If it's on tanks, why don't I just like go tank? I could even go... If it doesn't really matter, I don't have to get them done in any... Really just... But like, pick a tank, level tank if tank is up. Pick a healer, level healer if healer's up. Pay attention, your mitigation. Oh boy, this is Sage too, so I don't think I can even do like a full pool here. Oh, and they're viewing the cutscene for the first time? What are they... Hold on. What are they... Oh no. That's bad. Alright, let's just like stop in front of the room. Grab this pack over here. We'll just try to survive. Whoops. That was apparently too much. Alright, so we'll just wait for, I guess, where's the... going on here? I'm not even like marked with Cardian, so like the Sage is yeah, I might need to lock in here so that way we can get some stuff going. Why are you putting Cardian on yourself? Triggers a healing effect on a player under your control. Cardian granted. Let's see. Imagine the Redlands for Noctis being an underwater volcano or hydrothermal vents. That's what I'm imagining. Why did they go into the next room without their tank? This is, this is interesting. Yeah, the hydro volcano stuff is... But also, like, they revealed Noctis, and it's like, yes, finally! That's what people have been asking for forever. And the answer was just always, well, trying to figure out a way to do the, oh my god, what is this stage doing? I sent a message to them in chat asking if they were new to healing or new to Sage, but like I'm not getting an answer here. But like, I guess I'm just going to try and keep things moving at a brisk pace. And if I just like keep going 1, 2, I think, then I just get to my own healing, I guess. Weird. This ends up being a very strange run for us. Apparently baby Sage thinks she's a tank. Ah well. Not just looks good. Honestly, the Ikoria Kamigawa's combination looks really good. For the record, I hate the Omen Pass. I hate them not on like their own merits, but just kind of knowing that they are, in fact, yet again redoing magic. Oh my god. Oh right, I forgot swinging. Wait, no, that was a swinge, right? Yeah, this is the swinge. And just like dodge the swinge, and then everything is that's also a swinge. Swinge is like their big monster cleave thing, I think. I'll admit it's been a little while since I've tanked, but like it shouldn't be this bad, right? Like, I'm even doing my main job and everything. C'est la vie. Ow. Ow, crunch. By the way, I posted this in the Discord. Oh my god, why is this Sage pulling so aggressively? Like this is a healer, right? I didn't miss patch notes or something that said Sage was reclassed into casting or something like that. Ah well. Looks like I'm gonna have to help out the Sage here. I actually get a chance to heal if I only ever do my 1-2. So, you know, whatever helps everything stabilize. Very strange, but like, hey, you know what? I get to spend this time. At least we're having a good time, right? That's what matters. Honestly, so like, I'm really looking forward to the Ikoria versus Kamigawa set. That one has potential to be a lot of fun. Like, I love Big Mecha. I love Big Monster. I'm sad that I missed out on Ikoria. I was playing a little bit when Hyo Kamigawa came out. So I didn't exactly get to, didn't exactly miss out on the general experience. But having them together, this is what... Oh my god, why? Yeah, yep, okay, you know what? I'm done. I'm done trying to, like, figure out what exactly this cat's problem is. I will just do my thing. We'll just call this practice for the hero solo only challenge. Oh, hey, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Wonder if... So Ikoria is coming back, and Ikoria's big, like, headliner mechanic was mutate. People can say what they want. I think mutate causes way too many niche problems. Like, in theory, it's fine. But, like, you just create too many edge cases or something like that. It's definitely... Putting one card on top of the other, that's some Digimon card game stuff. And Digimon card game does it so much more elegantly, I think. Like, it's actually baked into the system, you know? I'm not even gonna bother popping my numerous. Yeah, I think that's probably better spent trying to, like, clear mobs at this point. Well, I guess there's no reason not to my dangers. I guess if it ends up taking more than a minute, then I'm the one who looks silly. Ah, well. If I sound tired, because I am. At least I didn't have to, like, completely lock in for... That was a nice... High bay is just, like, so exhausting. Oh, okay. So, I can't decide if Healer-chan trying to make us go fast or not, because, like, I just don't know. Currently, Sage is not free. Shadowbreeze is where the free trial currently goes to. But you can still, like, buy the whole game and then, like, you know, buy a skip and then just play through the story as your preferred class or whatever, I guess. And it looks like she's using all opening gear too. Alright, so let's see exactly what... I can maintain AoE fine on this. Our DPS have to be going crazy about the speed of this, though. This is what happens when you don't trust your healer, folks. You end up having to, like, you know, pull the mitigation. I'm having to, like, you know, go slower. Everyone spends more of their day in a dungeon that they really don't want to spend most of the day in. And you just have to live with it. And, like, there's no issue if the Sage is still just trying to, like, learn the job. Sage does not get a lot of tools at lower levels, and that can cause a lot of issues. But, like, I have to assume they're either playing on console or, like, on a Steam Deck or something. Ain't never message back. Fortunately, I don't have to worry about anything like that with this. Oh, I accidentally pulled before they were done watching the cutscene. Well, that's fine. Fortunately, this is in fact a pretty easy drag in the tank. The other job I tried learning was astrology. Fun. Hey, I didn't know you played Final Fantasy 14. Also, yeah, I agree. Astro is fun. Like, varying opinions about, like, you know, pre and post rework side. Like, I think playing trading cards is fun. Trading cards, the healing job, actually surprisingly. Mainly play DPS. I'm a level 60 ninja. Represent. Represent. I know there's usually, like, a ton of DPS players out there, hence why the queue is always like full. But like, shockingly, most of my friends are all tanks and healer main. So you actually get into this weird scenario where it's like, ah man, they we don't have anyone to play DPS. Who's gonna be like, you know, our DPS bots for the night? And then, like, also, like, Ninja is one of the best jobs that I actually... The Mudra just feels so good to pull off, you know? You actually... The way that you just click on those 3 Mudra keys, and then you get a spell effect. Very, very sad. Makes me wonder how much of that they're going to keep when they release Evolved mode next year. Yay! We got the stuff! I also almost at limit break too. Like, if the DPS could hop off as soon as that's available, that would be just great. Hey, they did it. Okay, that was a weird one, but we... that's probably like... And then we're just gonna... And... What am I doing? What am I doing with my... There we go. That's what I'm doing. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Playing on the free trial, was excited when they expanded the free trial to Shadowbringers, since I was then able to pick up Gunbreaker Dancer. Yeah, yes, yes! Ooh, hold on. That's the Skaven gear? Yeah, it is the Skaven gear. For a second, I thought it was the Elemental Armor. Double check. Still good. So, yeah. Go ahead and do the leveling. We've got time for one more quick dungeon run. The dungeon runs are usually the ones that end up... And pull that up. Go into the unrestricted... Brave Flux is long stuff hard. It's always Brave. Why do I ever pretend? Getting to pick up the Gunbreaker for free is just so huge, though. Because Gunbreaker is my favorite job, hands down. Which makes it so frustrating how Gunbreaker didn't get a single job card. Like, I guess all the jobs got, like, 1 job cards, but, like, Gunbreaker was not even acknowledged as a job. Despite the fact that it's Squall's class, despite the fact that it's Lightning's class, despite the fact that in Final Fantasy XIV, all the Gunbreaker acts and animations are based heavily off of those 2 characters. And also Cypher. Daj. You want to talk about other stories that really like benefit from being sandboxes? I feel like Final Fantasy XIV is kind of like the big draw is the huge actual narrative, don't get me wrong, I do love Final Fantasy 14's, but also like I think some of the best enjoyment I've gotten from the game is letting myself get immersed, doing all the side quests, doing all the fishing. That endeared me a lot more primary. And like, hey, if you like Final Fantasy 14, Ron and I are going to be returning to playing through Final Fantasy 14 literally next Friday is the goal. Should be finishing Final Fantasy 8 this Friday, and then Final Fantasy 14 returns next week. And then we're going to be finishing up basically all the Heavensward content before we go on to Stormblood. And folks are always welcome to join us. Got like a Radiant Raven showing up. Maybe if Sam's free, Sam will be there. It'll be great. Like, don't even pretend. And never know. Being honest, I only raised Archer to the Bard class because I wanted to play instruments and look up songs to play. I mean, that's a good reason to get into playing Bard. I like how Bard plays, but also it's perfectly valid to just get Bard just because you want to do the fun music. Like, that is completely acceptable. I would dare even say that most people get into Bard primarily because they want to play the music stuff. Unlike me, picked up Archer to start with because I just wanted Peleoton. I just wanted something that would make getting through the early game significantly less painful. And I ended up falling in love with Bard as a class anyway. Have the buttons for the Sailor Moon opening in your photos? Excellent. Excellent. Moonlight Densetsu is a fantastic song to play off of Bard instrument. I've gone into the square, and I've had Thamora just like play Barbie Girl on repeat. That's a good one. Nautica Magica, that's also one that's available. There are so many songs. And I've thought before that I would really, really like learn how to properly play music as opposed to getting a little bit of help there, we'll say. Okay, so we do this. Honestly, we might even have time for like one more. I don't know. I don't want to like tease it too hard. It's probably like trials after. Yeah. Yeah, we can get a couple of trials. Go back to Ganya, turn in our stuff, then do the trials, then we can. Funny thing about that first thing I looked up was how to play a little bit of Careless Whisper. You gotta do Careless Whisper, right? Like, look, if you're picking up Bard literally just to play the songs, why aren't you looking up all the fun meme songs? Careless Whispers, that was George Michael, wasn't it? Like, I know which song it is. I'm trying to remember which artist it was. Real quick. Oh, God. Ugh. By the way, chat, not right this second, but in a few minutes, we are going to be opening up the Actually, hold on. Before I even go into that, I should be asking Lucky where he wants to lead it into. Like, Lucky, if you're still here, I will give you choice on where to lead the raid today, because Killjoe literally went offline before we could finish the raid yesterday, you know? So if you still want to cash in on that, I will give you priority, assuming that you're still hanging around. Learning, you have to pull out the saxophone for it. 100%, 100%. Like, nothing else. You can try going for anything else, but if you want to be authentic to, lived experience, you gotta go sax. Alright. I'll quickly burn through it. Alright, the etheric rune is coming. Excellent. 31 seconds. I don't think that's a new record any. Okay. We can do at least one more trial. Yeah, we can do one more trial, so we might as well grab. And then by the time that we're done with Shiva, we should be ready to start wrapping up. Which, as a reminder, you know, one more time, we won't be streaming tomorrow because tomorrow I'm gonna go see the head doctor. You know, the one that takes a look inside your head and goes, yep, this is your issue. The one that goes, hey, you know what? Since you have such a hard time describing what you're struggling with, why don't you just tell me your D&D character's backstory? They listen intently, and then from that, they just provide you with the single most potent diagnosis ever heard. And it's like, oh god, I wish I could just like have someone understand me that thoroughly that they could tell me exactly what my problem is and what I can do to help like recover from it. Smile on her face. Oh my god. Is the bot still posting my fucking Twitter link? I never noticed. I don't even use Twitter anymore. I'm gonna have to change that link. I like it for not actually paying attention to what my bots do. Alright. That'll take us to the 5-minute. Turn back into a start decent this while we go in stuff. The songs I have in my photos for Bard: Sailor Moon, Careless Whisper, How's Moving Castle? That's a good one. Ivana, Lost in Thoughts, All Alone from Fire Emblem. That's also a really good one. I never actually finished Birthright or Conquest. Either one. But like that song slaps. "1,000 Words," FFXIV, Never Gonna Give You Up. Yeah, Never Gonna Give You Up. Classic. FFXIV though, unit gets the gut. A little hand can't. Fails to crack me up. All right, folks, we're gonna start wrapping things up over here. If you're on the YouTube side, thank you all so much for. Go ahead and leave a like on the stream. Subscribe. Tell people about the stream if you think they'll like it. Thank you so much for hanging out. And then leave a comment below. How do you feel about the music situation for the ambiance of Arena, or are you the type of person who's just gonna slowly fade away because you can't handle the rock? What Hero Girls? Let me know down in the comments. I'm going ahead and end the YouTube over there. Bloop. And then over on the Twitch side, we are going to start getting ready to raid out. I haven't heard back from Lucky